I died on a rainy Tuesday in October, my own wedding ring choking me as I gasped for air on the cold marble floor of our Chicago brownstone. The blade, wielded by my sister-in-law Lila's manicured hand, slid between my ribs like it was greased with family loyalty, all because I'd stumbled too close to their rotten core. "For the bloodline," she'd whispered, her eyes gleaming with the madness of a woman guarding a lie bigger than all of us. But death isn't the end, it's just the universe's cruel reset button. I woke up screaming, not in hell, but in my old queen bed 5 years earlier. Ethan's arms slung over me like nothing had changed, except everything had. The clock on the nightstand blinked 6:47 a.m. July 15th, 2018. My heart hammered against ribs that shouldn't feel this solid, this alive. I bolted upright, sheets tangling around my legs, and stared at my reflection in the vanity mirror across the room, 28-year-old Aubrey staring back, not the 33-year-old corpse I'd become. No scars from the accident that never happened yet. No hollow eyes from the gaslighting that led to it. Just me, pre-betrayal, pre-murder, with a second shot at torching the whole damn Hawthorne dynasty from the inside out. Ethan stirred beside me, mumbling about his board meeting, oblivious to the ghost in his wife's skin. The Hawthornes, my in-laws, those wasp-eye vultures perched on old money like it was a throne, had always treated me like an interloper. Evelyn, the Ice Queen matriarch, with her junior league smile and whispers about my Midwestern roots being too rough for their Gold Coast pedigree. Victor, the Silver Fox patriarch, who'd pat my knee at dinners while his eyes screamed "You're temporary." And Lila, Ethan's baby sister, the golden child who'd shank you for a Birkin bag. In my first life, their concern over my instability escalated to forged emails, planted drugs in my purse, a restraining order that painted me as the villain. It culminated in that rainy night, Lila's intervention gone lethal, covered up as my suicide. But now, I'd make them beg for mercy they didn't deserve. I slipped from bed, padding barefoot to the kitchen in our Lakeview apartment, the city humming outside like it hadn't already devoured me once. Coffee brewed, black and bitter, mirroring the rage coiling in my gut. My phone buzzed, a text from Evelyn. "Darling, dinner tonight? Victor's insisting on family time." I almost laughed, a sharp, ugly sound that echoed off the granite counters. Family time. The kind that ended with a toe tag. But this time, I'd play along. I'd smile through the passive-aggressive jabs about my freelance writing not measuring up to Ethan's hedge fund glory. I'd nod at Victor's tales of Hawthorne Shipping's glory days, all while cataloging the cracks, the way Evelyn's hand trembled when she poured wine, the flicker in Lila's eyes when Ethan praised me a beat too long. By noon, I was at my desk, laptop open to a blank document that screamed revenge plan. Step 1. Infiltrate deeper. In the original timeline, I'd kept my distance, too eager to prove I belonged. Mistake. This round, I'd weaponized their snobbery. I texted Lila, "Heard about that gala next month. Need a +1? Ethan's swamped." Her reply was instant, dripping honey. "OMG, yes. Sisters night out." 2 hearts sisters. The word tasted like arsenic. But it'd get me into the inner sanctum, where the whispers turned to plots. Ethan came home early, tie loosened, carrying Thai takeout like he was auditioning for Husband of the Year. We ate on the couch, legs tangled, him venting about a merger while I nodded, my mind miles away, replaying the autopsy report I'd read in hell's waiting room. Cause of death: exsanguination from a single stab wound.
No prints.
No witnesses. Just my despair over our failing marriage. Lies. All of it. Ethan had been their pawn. Fed doubts until he filed for divorce the day after. But looking at him now, rumpled and real, a pang hit me, love, twisted with pity. Could I save him too? Or was he collateral? That night at the Hawthorne's Gold Coast mansion, crystal chandeliers dripped light like frozen tears. Evelyn air-kissed my cheeks. Her Chanel no. 5 a chokehold. Aubrey,
Dear.
you look rested. No more of those late nights scribbling. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. Victor boomed from the den. Scotch in hand. Come on.
Son.
Show her the new yacht pics. Ethan grinned, pulling me along, but I hung back, scanning the room like a crime scene. Photos on the mantel. Young Victor and Evelyn at the 80s debutante ball. Lila as flower girl at their vow renewal. Ethan, always apart. His baby face too soft next to the sharp Hawthorne angles. Dinner was roast duck and red wine. The kind that stained your lips bloody. Conversation flowed like syrup. Evelyn on charity auctions. Victor on tariffs. Lila giggling about her latest Tinder disaster. But I steered it. Casual as a summer breeze. Ethan mentioned you all did one of those ancestry kits last year. Fun, right? Uncover any skeletons? Silence dropped like a guillotine. Evelyn's fork paused midair. Victor cleared his throat. Lila shot me a look that could have curdled cream. Oh, those are such gimmicks, Evelyn trilled. Too bright. We don't need paper to know our blood.
Blood.
The word hung there, and I filed it away, smiling sweetly. Later, as Ethan and Victor bonded over cigars on the terrace, Lila cornered me in the powder room. What's with the 3rd degree? Aubrey? Jealous of our history? Her reflection smirked back. All glossy lips and malice. In my first life, I'd have apologized. Shrunk.
Now?
I leaned in, voice low. History's just yesterday's lies. Lila. And yours? It's got more holes than Swiss cheese. She blinked. Thrown. And I sauntered out, heart racing with the thrill of the first cut. Back home, tangled in sheets again, Ethan murmured against my neck, "You were quiet tonight." Everything okay? I traced the line of his jaw, memorizing it against the fire I'd ignite. Just thinking about family, I whispered. How far we'd go for them, he chuckled, oblivious. But as sleep claimed him, I lay awake, plotting. The Hawthorne's empire was built on Hawthorne shipping, a logistics giant Victor inherited in '95, ballooning it with shady deals, union busts, offshore accounts. In my old life, I'd ignored the rumors, too busy playing perfect wife. Now,
You did that.
public records, old employees, that tremor in Evelyn's hand. It all pointed to a fracture, a secret festering for decades. Week 1 of rebirth, reconnaissance. I accidentally spilled wine on Victor's desk during a lunch visit, apologizing profusely while pocketing a faded photo from his drawer. Evelyn, pregnant, arm in arm with a stranger who wasn't Victor. Grainy, 88 timestamp. Ethan's conception year. My pulse thrummed. Was this the vein to bleed them dry? By week 2, Lila and I were besties, shopping Michigan Avenue. Her spilling tea on Ethan's exes while I nodded, recording every word on my phone's voice memo. Mom's always said Ethan's the golden boy.
But Daddy. Well,
He resents him a little. Thinks he's soft.
soft.
Victor's word. Spat in the original timeline during the intervention. I probed gently. Resents? Why? Lila waved it off. But her laugh was brittle. Old family drama. Nothing juicy. Juicy enough. I cross-referenced online. Hawthorne Shipping's incorporation docs showed a sudden cash infusion in '89, right after Ethan's birth. Coincidence? Hell no. And that photo stranger? A quick reverse image search on my laptop hit paydirt, a 90s Society page obit for one Marcus Hale. Shipping heir. Died in a boating accident. Evelyn's college sweetheart. Per the alumni notes. The pieces clicked, a fair baby. Ethan wasn't Victor's. The Hawthorns had buried it for 30 years, propping up the facade with money and menace. But revenge isn't just truth, it's timing. I needed them desperate, clawing at legitimacy. So I started small sabotages, anonymous tips to regulators about Hawthorne's environmental violations, a leaked memo on union payoffs. Whispers in Ethan's ear. Your dad's stressed. Something about audits. He confided in me, pulling me closer, while the family frayed. Evelyn called more, her voicemails edged with ice. Aubrey, have you heard rumors? Nonsense. Of course. Month 1 climax, the gala. Lila and I arrived arm in arm. Me in a slinky black sheath that screamed trouble, her in pink chiffon innocence. The Waldorf's ballroom buzzed with Chicago elite, politicians, tech bros, old oil money. Victor held court by the bar, Evelyn schmoozing donors. Ethan found me later, his hand warm on my waist. You look dangerous tonight. If only he knew. That's when it escalated. A tipsy Victor pulled Ethan aside, voices rising over the jazz quartet. I lingered, catching fragments. Not my legacy. Prove it. Ethan's face paled, and he stormed off. Lila swooped in, hissing. What did you do? He's unraveling.
Me?
Nothing yet. But her panic was delicious. By midnight, Evelyn cornered me in the coat check. Pearls clutched like a rosary. Stay out of it, Aubrey. You're not one of us. I met her gaze. Steady. That's the problem. Isn't it? None of you are what you seem. The drive home was silent fury, Ethan gripping the wheel like it owed him answers. Dad's talking crazy. DNA tests? Like I'm not his. My heart twisted, pity warring with purpose. Maybe it's time to know, I said softly. For all of us. He glanced at me, eyes searching. You do that? With me? I nodded, swallowing the lie that tasted like truth. Yes, I do it. For him.
For me.
To watch them burn. As we pulled into our garage, rain pattering like Judgment Day, I realized the hook was set. The Hawthorns would demand the test themselves, cornered by their own doubts. And when the envelope tore open, their empire, their lies, their blood, mine to spill. The fallout from the gala hit like a Midwest blizzard, swift, blinding, and buried under forced normalcy. Ethan woke the next morning with shadows under his eyes, nursing coffee like it was holy water. I confronted Dad, he said, voice raw. He denied everything.
But Mom.
She looked guilty. Like I'd accused her of murder. Close enough, I thought, forcing a sympathetic frown as I buttered his toast. In my first life, guilt had been their weapon against me. Now, I'd turn it back on them. A mirror of their own making. By afternoon, the demand came, Evelyn's email. Crisp and corporate. Family meeting tomorrow. Victor insists on clarity. Bring your support. Support. The outsider they'd soon blame. I replied with emojis, hearts and clasped hands, while inside, I seethed. Clarity? They'd get it.
All right.
Shards of it. Embedding deep. Ethan spent the day on calls. His hedge fund desk a war zone of spreadsheets and stress. I used the time wisely, slipping into his home office while he showered. His laptop, password my birthday, the fool, open to family folders. Buried deep, a scanned letter. Yellowed. Dated 1989. Evelyn's handwriting, Marcus. It has to end. Victor suspects. The child's his now.
Child. Ethan.
Proof. Digital and damning. I emailed it to my burner account, heart pounding with the weight of stolen thunder. That night, we made love like it was absolution, fierce, desperate, his hands mapping me like uncharted territory. Afterward, tangled in sweat-damp sheets, he whispered, if it's true. What does that make me? I cupped his face. Voice steady. It makes you Ethan. The man I chose. Lies layered on half-truths. But in that moment, I meant it. Saving him meant dooming them. And damn if the math didn't add up. The meeting was at the mansion, air thick with old money and older secrets. Victor paced the study like a caged bull, his Brooks Brothers shirt untucked for once. Evelyn perched on the leather sofa, legs crossed like a debutante at execution. Lila hovered by the wet bar, pouring gin with shaking hands. Ethan and I sat opposite, my hand in his, squeezing just enough to ground him. Son, Victor started, voice gravel over glass. This nonsense ends today. We're getting tested. All of us. Ethan's jaw tightened. Why now? Dad? After 30 years. Victor's eyes flicked to Evelyn. A silent indictment. Because rumors are circling. Board members whispering. Hawthorne shipping can't afford. Irregularities. Irregularities. The word hung, and I bit back a laugh. Irregularities like fudged ledgers I'd anonymously tipped to the SEC last week, or the offshore slush fund tied to Marcus Hale's estate. My sabotages were bearing fruit, forcing their hand. Evelyn interjected. Silk over steel. It's precautionary. Darling. For the legacy. Her gaze slid to me, accusatory. Though I wonder who started these whispers. Lila chimed in. Venom sweet. Yeah. Aubrey. You've been awfully chatty lately. Digging into family history. Ethan stiffened beside me. Lay offer. This is about us. The kit arrived overnight, 23 and me. Expedited. Because money bought speed. We swabbed in the study. Cheeks scraped raw under Victor's watchful eye. Envelopes sealed like tombs. Results in 5 days, he grunted, FedExing them himself. No leaks. No drama. As if. The wait was exquisite torture. Ethan withdrew. Burying in work, I played the doting wife. Cooking his favorites. Listening to his fears. What if I'm not a Hawthorne? The company. The name, it's all I am. I'd stroke his hair. Murmur. You're more than blood. But inside. I catalogued his pain as fuel. Theirs would be worse.
Me?
I escalated. posing as a concerned cousin on genealogy forums. I posted about Marcus Hale's untimely death and its ties to Chicago shipping families. Replies flooded. Heard it was no accident. Mistress involved? Evelyn's phone blew up. She called me in hysterics one afternoon. Aubrey, have you seen these vile posts? It's slander. I feigned shock. Oh God. Who would? We should tell Victor. Let the paranoia fester. Lila tried ambushing me next, coffee at Intelligentsia. Her eyes red-rimmed. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Stirring shit. I sipped my latte, calm as Lake Michigan. Just protecting my husband. Isn't that what family does? She leaned in, breath minty with rage. You're not family. You're a gold-digging nobody from Iowa dirt.
Iowa.
My roots. Weaponized. In the first life, it had crushed me.
Now?
Better dirt than deceit. Lila. At least mine's honest. By day 4. Cracks spiderwebbed. Victor canceled a board meeting, citing personal matters. Ethan came home early. Face ashen, Dad admitted.
Something.
About Mom and some guy in college. But he swears I'm his. I held him as he broke. Sobs muffled in my shoulder. We'll get through it. I lied. My resolve hardening like steel. This was the point of no return, their empire teetering. My revenge cresting. Day 5. The email pinged at 2:17 p.m. Ethan stared at his screen. Frozen. I peered over. Paternity not confirmed. 0% match to Victor Hawthorne. The room spun for him. For me, it was vindication, sharp as that long-ago blade. He grabbed his keys. I'm going over there.
Now.
I nodded, grabbing my coat. I'm coming. We're in this together. The drive to Gold Coast was a blur of honking cabs and spitting rain. Ethan white-knuckled on the wheel. How could they lie? My whole life. I placed a hand on his thigh. They were scared. But truth sets you free. Free to fall. I added silently. Free to watch them plummet. We burst into the mansion without knocking, doors flung wide to chaos. Victor bellowed into a phone. Find that hacker. Shut it down. Evelyn paced, clutching pearls like a lifeline, her face a mask of crumbling porcelain. Lila lounged on the stairs, smirking through tears. Told you she'd blow it up. Ethan thrust the printout. Explain this. Victor deflated, sinking into an armchair. Son. It was a mistake. Your mother. She was young. Marcus Hale, he was a rival. I raised you as mine, because you are mine. Evelyn wailed. We protected you. The scandal would have ruined us. Protected. The word ignited me. I stepped forward, voice cutting glass. Protected? Like you protected me in my suicide? Oh wait, that hasn't happened yet. 5 pairs of eyes snapped to me. Ethan's confused. Lila's calculating. Evelyn's horrified realization dawning. What the hell? Aubrey? Ethan breathed. I turned to him, tears-eyed manufactured glistening. Ask them.
Love.
Ask why they framed me for your affairs. Planted coke in my bag. Whispered you into divorcing me. Why Lila? My voice cracked artfully. Why she killed me. The room erupted, denials. Accusations. Victor lunging like he'd strike. But Ethan held up a hand. Is it true? Silence condemned them. Lila sneered. She was unstable. A threat. Evelyn sobbed. We had to preserve the family. Ethan's face twisted. Betrayal's knife. Self-inflicted. You monsters. He backed toward the door, pulling me with him. We're done. But as we fled into the storm, Lila's parting shot echoed. Run, Aubrey. But you can't outrun blood.
Blood.
There lie. My weapon. Phase 1 complete. But the real storm? Just breaking. Rain lashed the windshield like accusations as Ethan and I sped back to Lakeview, the city lights blurring into neon judgment. He hadn't spoken since the mansion, jaw clenched so tight, I feared it'd crack. I reached for his hand. Pull over. Please.
He did.
Tires screeching into an empty lot by the lake. Waves crashing like my pulse. Talk to me, I urged, though I knew the words he'd spit. You're in on this? The suicide shit. What the fuck? Aubrey. His eyes. Those hazel pools I drowned in twice now. Boiled with hurt. I leaned in, voice a confessional whisper. Not in on it. I knew it. From dreams, flashes, call it intuition. That's why I pushed the test. To expose them before they could hurt us. Half lie, half gift. In this timeline, the dreams were my old life's receipts. He searched my face, desperate for anchor.
They killed you?
In some vision. I nodded. Tears real this time. And I die again to keep you safe. He crumpled then, forehead to the wheel, shoulders shaking. I held him, rocking like a child, murmuring nonsense about new starts. But inside, triumph soured with ache. Ethan was collateral, the one casualty I hadn't planned for. In the first life, he'd mourned me publicly, a grieving widower cashing sympathy checks. Now, he was mine to rebuild or break. We drove home in fragile truce, collapsing into bed without words. Sleep evaded me. Instead, memories looped. The intervention. Evelyn's concerned call to my therapist. Lila's forged texts painting me as unhinged. She's violent. Officer, look at the bruises. Self-inflicted. Of course. But who'd believe the help? I'd been too trusting. Too American dream blind to see the rot beneath their manicured lawns. Dawn brought resolve. Ethan woke hollow-eyed. I need space. From them. From. Everything. I nodded. Brewing coffee strong enough to strip paint.
Take it.
I'll handle the fallout. He kissed my forehead gratitude. Maybe love, and left for the office. A ghost in Armani. Alone. I armored up. First call. My lawyer. A no-nonsense shark from my freelance days. Prenups ironclad. But if divorce hits. No ifs. Ethan would need me strong. Second, a PI. Old contact from a true crime piece I'd written. Dig deeper on Marcus Hale. And Evelyn's alibis. 88 to 89. Money wired. Wills turned. By noon, Lila texted, you bitch. Meet me.
Now.
Or I tell Ethan everything. Everything? She knew nothing of my rebirth. But her bluff reeked of desperation. I replied, Starbucks. Wabash. 2 p.m. Neutral ground. Public eyes. She arrived late. Designer shades hiding puffy eyes. Latte in hand like a shield. We claimed a corner table. The hum of baristas our soundtrack. You think you're clever? She hissed, leaning across. Stirring this pot? Ethan's crumbling. Dad's on heart meds. Mom's popping Xanax like candy. Happy now? Her venom was diluted, fear leaking through. I sipped my Americano. Cool. Happy?
No.
Vindicated? Absolutely. You murdered me, Lila. For what? A fake legacy. She paled, shade slipping. What? You're crazy. But her flinch betrayed her. In this timeline, the murder was prophecy, not past. Not crazy. Prophetic. And if you touch me again, I'll make sure the cops hear about Marcus's accident first. She laughed. Brittle. Blackmail? Classy. Iowa. But she bolted, spilling latte like blood. Victory won. The war raged. Afternoon brought Evelyn's olive branch, a tearful voicemail. Aubrey. Please. Come over. We need to talk. For Ethan. I went, stealing for the serpent's coil. The mansion felt smaller, shadows longer, staff dismissed for privacy. Evelyn waited in the sunroom, tea service trembling on the wicker table. No Victor, no Lila. Just us, two widows in waiting. You're not like them, she started, voice quavering. Stronger. But this. It's destroying us. Pouring Earl Grey with unsteady hands. She continued. Marcus was a mistake. Youthful folly. Victor forgave. But the board. They would have ousted him. So we lied. For stability. Stability. The Hawthorne Gospel. I set my cup down, china clinking like a gavel. Stability built on bodies? Like mine. Her eyes widened, feigned shock. What do you mean? I leaned in. The intervention. The drugs. Lila's knife. I saw it coming this time. Hysteria flickered in her gaze. You're ill. Like we feared.
Feared.
The script flipped. Then test me, I challenged. But first,
Confess. To Ethan.
all of it. She recoiled, pearls snapping like gunfire. Never. You're an outsider. You'll ruin us. Outsider. The slur that had haunted both lives. I stood. Too late. The PI's reports hit his inbox tomorrow. Affair. Cover up. The works. Sign the papers, divest Ethan his shares, or face fraud charges. Her slap landed hot. Cheeks stinging. Get out. I did. Tasting copper, blood from my lip. Controversial? Hell yes. Extortion dressed as justice. But as I drove away, mirror showing my reddened face, I felt alive.
Raw.
American, fighting dirty for the win. Evening. Ethan home late, reeking of bourbon. Dad called. Offered me the CEO spot. To keep it in the family. He laughed.
Hollow.
Family. What a joke. I cleaned his cuts, bar fight, self-loathing, and confessed my confrontation. I pushed her. For you. He pulled me close. My avenger. We made love again. Slower. Sealing packs in skin. But night brought the twist's whisper. My phone buzzed. PI's prelim. Evelyn's alibi solid.
But.
Your mom. Aubrey? Iowa records show adoption. 92. Hale connection?
Digging.
My blood chilled. Hale? Marcus? Was I the interloper?
No. Couldn't be.
Yet, doubt seated. Thorny. Next morning. Victor summons my office. 10 a.m. Alone. I went. Curiosity a siren's call. His tower downtown gleamed steel and glass. Empire incarnate. He waited behind a mahogany desk. Photos of ships mocking me. Sit, he growled. No pleasantries. Your trouble. Always were. Blunt. And you're fraud. But we both love Ethan. Truce. He barked a laugh. Truce? Girl. You think this ends with a test? Evelyn's pregnant again in 88, my child. But the dates. Marcus poached her for months. Ethan could have been his. I claimed him anyway. Raised him hard. To toughen the softness. Softness. Ethan's curse. Why tell me? I probed. His eyes hardened. Because you're like me. Ruthless. Join us, co-CEO with Ethan. Or watch him crash when the board revolts. Temptation slithered. Power. The life I'd craved. But revenge? It demanded blood. Not boardrooms. I'll pass, I said. Rising. Your throne's sinking. His parting shot. Check your lineage. Aubrey. Hawthorns don't forgive. The elevator descent felt like freefall. My phone lit. PI confirmation. Aubrey Hale. Adopted out after Evelyn's affair. Your bio mom? Her. Ethan, your half-brother. The world tilted. Betrayal's abyss yawned wider. Their secret was ours. Incest?
No.
Marriage voided by blood. But the scandal? Nuclear. My revenge. A mirror shattering on my face. I stumbled into a cab, tears blurring the loop. Call Ethan? Confess? Or wield it? Twist the knife deeper? The choice was poison either way. The cab dropped me at the Art Institute. Lions guarding the steps like sentinels to my unraveling. I wandered the halls numb, Monet's blurring into watery regrets. Van Gogh's screaming silent accusations. Half-brother. The word looped. A noose tightening. Ethan, my anchor. My bedmate. Now a genetic grenade. In the first life, I'd died ignorant. This one, knowledge was the killer. Evelyn's affair hadn't just birthed a bastard. It had woven me into their web. Adopted out to Iowa anonymity. Only to boomerang back as the perfect pawn. I sat on a bench by Hopper's Nighthawks. The diner's isolation mocking my solitude.
Call him.
Don't. The debate raged internal. American pragmatism clashing with Gothic dread. Divorce him now? Expose Evelyn as my mother? Torch the family with tabloid fire? Or bury it deeper? Play the long game. Let their empire choke on the truth piecemeal? Controversial didn't cover it. Incest whispers? Even dissolved. Would brand us freaks. Ethan's career. My sanity, ash. Phone in hand, I dialed the PI instead. Deeper dive. Quiet. And delete the report for now. 50 grand wired. Sins bought silence. Then. Evelyn. Voicemail. Laced with venom. You win this round. But blood calls to blood. Ask your mother. She knew. Of course. The slap. The lineage jab, tests run long ago. Hushed. Sun dipped low, gilding the bean outside as I emerged, resolve hardening like frost. No confessions yet. I'd weaponize the secret, turn their 30-year lie into my scalpel. Step 1. Confront the source. Evelyn's penthouse was a fortress of frost, white marble. Abstract art screaming money's emptiness. She answered the door herself. Robes silk-slung. Martini in hand. Knew you'd come crawling. No tea this time. Raw edges exposed. I stepped in, door clicking shut like a vault. Not crawling. Claiming. Her laugh tinkled. Brittle as ice. Claiming what? A dead man's scraps. We faced off in the living room. City sprawl mocking below. You gave me up. For what? Victor's ring. Stability. Words poured. Rage unchoked. I clawed back from nothing. Married your son. Only to find out I'm your daughter. And you let Lila murder me for it. She drained her glass. Eyes glassy. Murder? Hysteria again. But the adoption.
Yes.
Marcus wanted you, his little secret from me. I couldn't. Victor offered erasure. Papers signed. You shipped to relatives in Dubuque. Clean slate.
Clean.
The lie that birthed monsters. Why hide it from Ethan? I pressed. She shrugged. Venomous. Pity. He was soft. Like his father. Telling him his sister's his sister? It'd break him.
Sister.
The syllable poisoned.
And me?
I was the threat. Too close. Too curious. That's why the sabotage. To push you out before you unraveled us. Confession's floodgate creaked. I circled. Lila knew. Evelyn nodded. Weary. She pieced it. Jealous, always the spare. When you got too nosy in that first life. She trailed, implying the blade. We covered it. Suicide sells sympathy.
Sympathy.
The Hawthorne currency. I snatched her glass, hurling it at the window, cracks spidering glass, but not breaking. No more covers. Sign over Ethan's shares. Full divest. Or the world learns mommy dearest sturdy dozen. Affair. Adoption. Murder. She recoiled. But fire sparked. Blackmail twice? You're my blood. All right, ruthless.
Pause.
Calculating.
Fine.
But join us. Victor's offer stands. We build anew. You and I. Women like us? We rule. Temptation again. Matriarch to my avenger. Power over pain. I laughed. Cold. Rule from hell? Pass. Grabbing her phone. I texted Victor. Divorce papers incoming. Shares to Ethan.
Nostrines.
Then. To the PI, leak the affair obit tie-in. Anonymous. As I left, her whisper trailed. You'll regret this.
Daughter.
Regret? Already did. But momentum was mine. Home, Ethan waited. Takeout ties steaming. Candles flickering like hope. Missed you. We ate on the floor. Cross-legged. Him venting bored whispers. Me nodding. The secret a boulder on my chest. Post-dinner. He pulled me to the couch. About earlier. The vision thing. I believe you. Whatever it takes. We fight. His kiss deepened. Hands wandering, familiar. Forbidden now. I pulled back. Wait. We need.
Tests.
Both of us. Confusion creased his brow. More DNA? I nodded. Throat tight. Full panel.
Ancestry. Health.
Just. Clarity. He agreed. Easy. Trusting. The kit ordered that night. Swabs exchanged over wine. Envelopes mailed by morning. Waiting game 2. Agony amplified. Days blurred. Ethan reclaiming his life. Tendering resignation amid boardroom coups. Victor's lawyers circling like sharks. Lila vanished. Radio silence her white flag? No, text to Ethan. She's poisoning you.
Come home.
He blocked her, leaning on me harder. Nights. We clung, lovemaking a ritual of denial. But the boulder grew, crushing breath. Results landed on a Friday, 4:42 p.m. I opened alone. Ethan in a meeting. Mitochondrial match, 50% shared with Evelyn Hawthorne. Confirmation. Then Ethan's file, sibling match, high probability with Aubrey user. The room spun. I forwarded to my lawyer. Contingency, annulment clause. He came home buoyant. It's done, shares transferred. We're free. I forced a smile. Envelope burning in my purse. Dinner at Girl and the Goat his treat. Celebratory. Over goat tacos and whiskey. I broached. Results came. His fork paused. And, deep breath.
Ethan.
We're half-siblings. Evelyn's kids. She gave me up. Silence stretched. Eternal. His face cycled shock. Denial. Revulsion. Bullshit. A glitch. But tears betrayed him.
We.
Oh God. Aubrey. He bolted for the bathroom. Retching echoed. I followed. Kneeling by porcelain. It changes nothing. We annul. Quietly.
You're still you.
But his eyes, haunted, screamed everything. It changes us. How could you keep it? Anger flared. Misplaced. I protected you, like always. Protected. The cycle spun. He stormed out into the night. Cab vanishing into traffic. I collapsed. Sobs racking. Grief for the love I'd poisoned. Midnight call, unknown. Lila. Voice slurred. Heard the news. Poetic.
Huh.
Mom's little reunion. Laughter. Unhinged. Come over. Alone. Or I spill to the trib. Hawthorne heirs incestuous marriage. Trap sprung. But curiosity rage drove me. The mansion loomed dark. Only a porch light beckoning. Lila waited in the foyer. Bottle in hand. Eyes wild. Sister dear. Mocking bow. Join the club. You knew, I accused. She grinned. Feral. Longer than you. Mom's diary. Teenage me's treasure. Plan to use it. But you beat me to the punch. Bottle swigged. Now? Ethan's broken. Victor's suing for fraud. Mom's catatonic. Your fault. My turn. Your blade. Lila. In the vision, future. She scoffed. Visions? Delusions. But if you're so psychic, predict this. She lunged, bottle swinging. I dodged, grabbing a vase, heavy crystal, crashing it on her wrist. Shards flew, gin pooling red-tinged. She screamed, cradling the gash. You bitch. I'll kill you. Controversial calculus. Fight or flight. I pinned her. Knee to throat. Try it. This time, I walk away. Phone out. 911 dialed. Intruder at Hawthorne residence. Send cops. Her eyes bulged, defeat dawning. Sirens wailed distant as I released, stepping back. Tell them everything. Or rot. She curled fetal, whispering, You win. Cops came. Statements taken, self-defense.
Clear.
Victor arrived disheveled. Evelyn trailing like a specter.
Ethan?
Absent. As they loaded Lila into the ambulance, Evelyn gripped my arm. End this. For him. I wrenched free. It's ended. Sign the annulment. Papers drawn by Dawn. Ethan signing remotely, cold. Final, no contact. Alone in my apartment. I packed his things. Heart hemorrhaging. Revenge tasted ash. Family shattered. Love lost. Me alive but hollow. But the twist lingered. One loose thread. Marcus's will. PI's final report. Unclaimed inheritance. Yours,
Aubrey. $50 million.
shipping stake. Blood money. Legacy. I stared at the lake. Dawn breaking. Rebirth's gift? Or curse eternal? Weeks bled into autumn. Chicago's wind whipping leaves like confetti from a funeral. The annulment finalized quietly. Lawyers greased with Hawthorne hush money. No headlines. Just a line item in probate court. Ethan vanished to New York. Whispers of a new firm. A new life scrubbed of Midwestern rot. His last text, take care of yourself. Always. No, I love you. The void echoed. I stayed. Haunting our apartment like a specter, mine now. Lease bought out with petty cash from the will. $50 million hit my accounts, mid-October. Marcus Hale's ghost paying dividends. I hired a financial advisor, sharp, queer. No bullshit. Invest in green shipping. Disrupt the old guard. Poetic justice. Hawthorne's fossil fuels versus my electric fleets. Victor sued. Of course, fraud. Undue influence, but Evelyn testified against him. Her deposition a confessional torrent, affair. Adoption. The suicide cover-up. Lila's assault charges stuck. She plea bargained to psych eval.
Shipped to a Swiss clinic.
Family reconciliation. The tabloid spun. Oblivious to the blood.
Me?
I wrote. Not freelance fluff, a memoir. Ghosted under pseudonym. Bloodlines, a Chicago dynasty's fall. No names, but the veils were tissue thin. Publishers clamored. Netflix optioned it pre-pub. Gripping, they said. Controversial. Revenges, Inc. Black as my soul. Evelyn reached out once. Post-divorce. Lunch at the Peninsula. Her treating. She looked diminished, hair silvering. Pearls dull. Daughter, she started.
Tentative.
I cut. Aubrey. Just Aubrey. Over salads neither ate. She spilled. I was 22. Marcus. Charming devil. Promised escape from Victor's grip. But he drowned. Yachts sabotaged by rivals. I panicked.
Confessed.
Victor. Forgave. On conditions. You were the price.
Price. Me?
Bartered like stock. Why not tell me? I asked. Fork stabbing lettuce. She sighed. Shame. And you thrived, married my son. No less. Fate's cruel joke. Cruel. Understatement. Ethan hates me, she added. Blames the blood. I almost pitted her, almost.
Good.
Let it burn. I left her with the check. Walking Michigan Avenue under gray skies. Pity curdled to resolve, no truce. I'd build my empire. Eclipse theirs. Hale Shipping LLC launched that week. Sustainable routes. Union first. Headlines. Young mogul disrupts legacy giants. Victor's board crumbled. He retired bitter to Palm Beach. Thanksgiving loomed solitary. I flew to Iowa. Roots calling. The farmhouse stood weathered. Adoptive parents, now in their 70s, welcoming with pie and questions. Heard about the book, Mom said. eyes twinkling. Proud, but worried. Dad hugged gruff. Blood's what you make it. We talked late, my visions, the family implosion. No judgment. Just pie crust flakes and love unearned. American heartland. Forgiving. Fertile. Back in Chicago. Snow dusted the lake like absolution. A package waited. Ethan's handwriting. Inside, our wedding album. Photos crisp. Note. Burn if you want. Or remember the good. I flipped pages. Vows exchanged in Lincoln Park. His smile unshadowed. Tears fell. Hot. I kept it. Shelved beside the will. Climax came unbidden. New Year's Eve gala. Same Waldorf ballroom. Irony thick. I attended solo. Red gown a flag of war. Whispers trailed. The Hail heiress. Took down hawthorns. Then, Nathan. Tucks sharp. Dateless. Our eyes locked across the crowd. Time stuttered. He approached. Champagne flutes in hand.
Aubrey.
Voice rough.
Healed.
Heard about the company. Impressive. Small talk over bubbles, his firm thriving. Therapy unpacking the lies. I hated you, he admitted. For knowing. For not telling. I nodded. Hated myself more?
Pause.
Electric. But I miss my best friend. Best friend. The demotion stung. But seeds of peace. Miss mine too. We danced one song. Waltz formal, bodies close but chaste. Ghosts exorcised. No regrets, he asked. I smiled. True, only that it ended. He left at midnight. Kiss on cheek platonic. I watched him go. Heart lighter. Revenge's arc bent. Not to tragedy, but redemption's fragile curve. Spring bloomed. Hail shipping boomed. Me CEO at 33, the age I died. Evelyn visited once. Frail. Forgive. I shook head. Not yet. Maybe never. But I sent flowers to her birthday, white lilies. Neutral. Lila wrote from Switzerland, getting help.
Sorry.
And signed.
But I burned it anyway.
Ethan? We texted sporadically, memes. Market tips. No more. But in quiet nights, staring at the lake, I whispered thanks to whatever God granted rebirth. I'd lost a husband, gained a self fiercer, forged in fire. Twist's end. No biopic bombshell. The secret stayed buried. My memoir vague enough for deniability. Hawthorns faded. Victor passed quietly. Obit noting family man. Evelyn downsized. Volunteering at shelters. Poetic.
Me?
I lived. Wrote sequels. Dated casually, a barista with tattoos. No pedigrees. Traveled, Tokyo ports. Sustainable ships christened. At 40, I'd look back, not on death's blade, but life's rewrite. Revenge wasn't destruction, it was reclamation. And in America's grind, that's the real hook.